What's up out there, all my Mystios? This is Darkstrider, the YouTube Assassin, and today I'm coming at you with another build video. This time I have the legendary Arena Pit Fighter gear. Now, you earn this if you go over to the arena. There's two different sort of like quest lines, I guess, and the one that I did was actually like the second quest line. I completed the first, came back. All 5 fighters are ready to go again, and then you complete that quest line, and as you're completing it, you start getting all this armor. Now, it's the build that I'm using here, the build that I'm doing is basically going to be for arena combat and for conquest battles. That's what this gear is for. So what I wanted was, I wanted to be really tanky. I want to get a lot of adrenaline, because we're going to be using a lot of adrenaline, because we're going to be, just fighting it out and just really making sure that like we do a lot of damage, a lot of stuff going down. So here's the build. First of all, we have the helmet. As you can see, the entire set gives us 10% health restored with overpower abilities, which, I mean, that's another thing you're going to be using a lot while you're in the arena, or even when you're in a conquest battle. We're going to be burning through abilities. It's going to be crazy. So it has the 15% warrior damage. It has 10% damage with swords and daggers, both of which I'm using. And I added the 15% damage with warrior abilities, because all the abilities that we have, I want to really, really start tearing through the enemies. The gloves here, again, warrior damage, 20% damage with overpower abilities, which are going to be awesome, okay? I added 30% total armor only because, like I said, I want us to be kind of tanky. So I added the armor. On this one, it has 15% warrior damage, 10% damage with heavy weapons. Now, I don't have heavy weapons on this build, but you can actually put them if it's your preference, especially if you have something like, any of the axes or anything like that that really just burns through enemies and stuff like that. You might want to add stuff like that. But I also put 2% damage dealt restored as health, okay? Again, we want to keep our health up. We want to be, like, tanky. On the leg portion, we have 50% warrior damage. We have 20% damage with overpower abilities, which is going to be awesome. I added more armor. Like I said, I want to just really extremely make sure that, like, we're not going down real fast, okay? So we definitely need that armor there. On top of that, the boots, this is kind of weird. It has 15% assassin damage, and has 10% damage with spears and staves, both of which we don't need. I don't know why they included it on this set. They had all these other things on the feet. That's where they kind of like messed up. And let's see, that's actually the pit fighter and the arena gear. It doesn't actually have anything else. Let's see, pet fighters, boots. I know there's no other boots that actually go with this, so that's just, it's really weird that this is how they did it. Yeah, there's the war hero boots. That's part of the Athenian set. Demigod, Artemis. Yeah, it's just strange. Anyway, moving on. We'll go to the sword. Now for the sword, I put the Sword of Damocles. 50% warrior damage, 20% adrenaline per crit. And we really need that adrenaline buildup. Plus 10% to all adrenaline gained. So like I said, the adrenaline, we're going to be burning through it. We're going to need it. I added 15% damage with swords just to make this weapon just extra, dangerous. So I decided to put that there. Now, I found this ornate dagger. Obviously, it's an epic, but I thought it had really great stats. It doesn't have like a lot of damage, but it does have great stats. Plus 14% warrior damage, which is kind of odd, but okay. Plus 15% adrenaline per hit. That's another thing that we definitely need. We want to build up that adrenaline. 25% damage on animals, it's whatever. We really didn't need it. I added 25% cooldown duration for all abilities, just so that we could get to our abilities a lot quicker. So that was my gear. You might want to find some kind of daggers like this that may do that. I don't know if there are any other daggers that will do that we have. maybe even a sword. I really wanted, you know, just to make sure that we get our adrenaline like flowing constantly, quickly. For the abilities, I actually obviously went hard on Warrior. Everything in Warrior is full, okay? I added the fire damage and the fire attack so that way we could actually do a little more damage. We could light them up, all right? In Assassin, I actually went with Poison. Again, it's going to be another one of those things that really tears up the enemy, okay? Poison's going to burn right through them. So I decided let's go with that. And then, of course, Hero Strike, like I say in every video, this is just a staple of mine. I decided to add it to it, okay? We're going to be using all these warrior attacks real heavy, all right? And then from the Assassin tree, we're going to be using the Poison heavy. Over in Hunter, you really don't have to use bows because you're really going to be basically going into an arena or going into a conquest battle, and you're really not going to have like a lot of opportunities to actually use any of the bow and arrow stuff. But I mean, as you can see from all my other videos, it's pretty much the same tree, the standard tree that I always put in Hunter, just because I had the extra ability points. If you don't have the ability points, stick primarily with everything in Warrior, and then, you know, you may even want to see if you could add Poison from Assassin. The Poison will actually tear them up, and you could actually even change around your inventory and your build so that you actually have a lot of poison damage, or, you know, any weapons that may have poison attached to them. Okay? I do believe there is, here we go, the Arachne Stingers. This actually has poison damage. But again, you know, what we probably want to do here, if you're going to use these, is you're going to want to put on the cooldown duration. So that way, you know, you could just get everything off quickly. All right? But that's the build. Let's see how well it does. Oh, wait a minute. Before I even get into that, I keep forgetting, so sorry. Here are the stats. So, as you can see, warrior damage is 154%. Damage with headshots is 168%. But like I said, we're really not going to be focused on using the bow and arrow. Okay? As far as everything else goes, it's decent numbers. Okay? Our armor bonus is 150%. That's really primarily going to be so that we could survive in the middle of the arena or the conquest battle. You know, everything else is pretty standard. So let's see how we do. As far as the bow and arrow go as well, I actually used the Heracles bow. And the whole reason for that was because of the warrior damage and stuff. So this is basically, you know, like how we're going to battle during this whole build. We're just running around. We're making sure we take out as many enemies as possible. You know, adrenaline is going to be used quick. As you can see, I keep recovering it quickly at the same time. Keep killing my own guys. And then just for extra damage, we'll throw on some poison. The daggers move pretty quick. And of course, when we do that rage thing, when we have poison added to it, everybody else gets poisoned. Basically controlling the entire situation, just going in there, destroying everything and everybody. And then we're gaining our adrenaline pretty fast, just doing whatever we can do. Everybody gets poisoned when you do that with poison added to it. And the other thing we really want to do in this kind of situation, we really want to make sure that we're killing a lot of enemy soldiers. Because the more soldiers you kill, the better your outcome is. The more experience you gain, the more money you gain. So we definitely want to make sure that we're killing as many soldiers as possible. Can't just be coming in here and like looking for all the leaders. A little extra power there. Would have been better if I would have actually had poison added to my blades. You even add fire, and fire will actually have the same effect. Everybody burns. So there we go, and 46 soldiers killed, which isn't that bad. 4 captains killed, and as you can see, we got a little more of the rewards. You know, that's basically the point of this build. You know, it may not be the quickest. There may be other things that we could use to make it a little bit quicker, but the main thing was that we maintained our health, we maintained our armor rating, and then we actually did like a lot of damage in that little conquest battle there. So that's the build. That's how you do it. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think that this would have been better if I would have used a weapon that actually had poison, or maybe even fire along with this build? That way I'm actually burning everything. We really don't have to worry about catching on fire if we're in a conquest battle, which was primarily the reason why I did this build. Okay? What do you think of the daggers? Do you think that you would have used something legendary instead of epic? And then what do you think of the build as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out an awful lot. And as always, thank you for watching.